Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host, Shades. We do have an important day, and tomorrow is going to be important as well. RGTI on the verge of going higher. Whether it goes higher in after hours or pre-market, we will see. But if we look at the quantum computing ETF, where is it? Why can't I find QTUM? I have to look it up. But I always like to look at the QTUM, the quantum ETF that holds a bunch of these quantum stocks. And you can see the crossover is getting close. The crossover is getting close. Here it faked you out. Here it faked you out. But either way, we don't care about none of that. We care about this right here. The crossover is coming on the quantum ETF. Now, what does that have to do with RGTI? If quantum ETF is going to push higher and get that crossover, then we should see not just RGTI but quantum computing stocks. As you can see, they're all green. They're getting to IonQ, getting ready to cross over. There's a lot of opportunity here. I think this could pump in after hours, even in pre-market is where I'm going to try and play it. But if you want to wait for the daily crossover, then wait for it. Just be patient. Wait for it. It'll come. But if this breaks out right here above, it's being pushed down at 1160. But if it breaks out, we're going to 1850. Like, we can close this gap, and there's money to be made. Someone did say something about our sellers finished. Sellers are finished, and here's how you know. 4 days of selling, 3 green days. Sellers have tried to push us down, but they can't. They can't. They're done. They're finished. Sellers are done. There's clearly enough buyers and not enough sellers to push us down any lower. At this point, if we get this breakout above 1160, then we can go to 1250. If we break that, we're going to 15 and possibly 20 again. Those are your levels. Let me mark that for you guys. So this one's like a big. This is on my watch list. I'm watching this one big time. Because I like what I'm seeing. I already told everyone in the Discord, like, hey, keep an eye on these quantum stocks because they can recover quite a bit here. They're the future. Whether you're holding long or buying for a trade, swing trade, day trade, whatever your strategy may be, you can't deny that this is looking good here. This is looking good. The crossover hasn't happened yet. So if you want to buy in anticipation of the crossover, you can do that. I'm still going to wait for the crossover. But if we do get a huge pump in pre-market, I'll try to take advantage of it in pre-market. And then dump it on the people who will buy at market open is what I'm looking for. If I'm going to day trade it. If I'm going to stream trade it, I'm still going to wait for the crossover. So there you go. I can adapt. Am I going to day trade it in pre-market? If I'm awake, sure. Am I going to swing trade it on the crossover? Absolutely. But you can also play the breakout, and like I said, these are your levels. If we can break out above 1160, we're going to 1250, then 15, and then back to 18 and possibly 20. By that point, we probably would have gotten a crossover as well, so you'd also get the signal either way. The good thing about waiting for the signal is you're going to have strength and volume behind it. You're going to have momentum behind it. The last time we crossed over was back here. Way back in November 22nd. I want you to think about that for a second. The last time we crossed over was almost 2 months ago. November 22nd. What was that? Thanksgiving or around that time? It crossed over in the MACD. You can see the volume jumped up. The volume's up here. It jumped up from 34 million to 96 million on that crossover, which happened right here. And you got in at around $1.80, and then it gapped up to 273, and you could have made 50% right there. Or you could have held it, and then boom, it just mooned, and you would have made your money. And that crossover has not happened since then. So you can wait for the crossover. It's a money maker. It can fake you out. That's the downside. I'm telling you the downside. I don't want to lie to you. It can fake you out. It can. Let me show you an example. But it's money. Like, when it does crossover and it's successful, it's money. You got momentum, you got volume, you got buyers on your side, which is what you want. That's why I never try to time the bottom, because you never know where the bottom actually is. If we could time bottoms, you can time bottoms in the market. Anyone who tells you that is lying to you. AITX, perfect example. Where's the bottom? Do you see it, guys? I see it. Do you see it? It likes to do what? It likes to pump, dump back to around 002s, pumps again, back to 002s. Pumps, huge pump here, 500% run here from 002s to 1 penny. And then it came back down to what? 002s. So if the bottom is very clear like this, then it's easy to abuse the bottom. You just buy the bottom. You can time the bottom on stocks if they have it a very clear picture like this one. So guess what? I'm waiting for it to. It's coming on down. It already pumped. People made a lot of money. One guy made 100K off of this play because I told him, I'm like, buy this one. It's gonna pump again, and he made a lot of money. He's been thanking me like, oh my God, you changed my life, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. When people make money, off of my plays, I don't really think about like that I'm changing people's lives. I'm more like I'm just a machine, right? If at bottom, buy. And if you buy with me and you sell when it pops, like it has every single time, because we have 100% win rate on this one. Because why? Because the bottom is very clear. Unless you're blind, then maybe you can't see the bottom. And it's coming, guess what? It's coming right back down. So you can time the bottom in the markets. Anyone who tells you that, you can just tell them, check out this AITX stock. Okay, SoFi stock, I just wanted to make it a little lesson there. SoFi stock got a crossover yesterday. You can see January 15th. That green candle right here, you can see the crossover happen, white line over the yellow line, and guess what? It pumped, and then it pumped again. That's what we're looking for, but it can fake you out. You can see it crossed over here, right here. You can see it got so close to that yellow line. I promise you it crossed over, teased it, and then came right back down. So that's the downside. That's like the weakness of the MACD, is that it can fake you out, especially in a downtrend. But either way, if you have a strategy like I do, you take the small loss and you move on. Or maybe you're smart enough and experienced enough to recognize like, oh, this is a fake out. I'm not jumping in. And that'll help you lose a lot less. Like I have 100% win rate in the Discord. If you're following my alerts, if you're going off and doing your own thing or following other trade ideas, then that's on you, right? If you're not following me to a T, that's kind of on you at that point. Have not lost since November. I think the last loss I took was on garbage penny stock that I'm done with. It caused me to lose money. See ya. Like, so long. It could not hold the bottom anymore. See ya. Not even going to name the stock. But you can see the crossover is money. I'm showing you this. I'm giving you the strategy. I just showed you two strategies. The bottom's buying strategy. Where's the bottom? Ooh, you don't need to... as long as you have eyeballs, you know where it is. You just point at it. Literally, you can point at it. So, where was I? RGTI... Where's RGTI? My watch list is so huge that I can never find the stocks that I'm looking for. I might have to do some cleaning up. But RGTI, look at the past. Where was the bottom? You see the bottom? It's very clear here. If you bought down here, then it ran huge. You made a lot of money. It's always if there's a bottom like that, always abuse it. Okay. But in this case, we don't know where the bottom is. Maybe it is, maybe $6 is the bottom, but that's really far off. And we're probably not going to come back down there, if I'm being honest. So the next best entry is the crossover. And as long as it's not a fake out, we're going to jump in with the momentum, with the volume, with the buying pressure, with buyers on our side. Sellers are finished, as you can see, nothing but green candles. I think we're going to pump if we get that breakout. So if you want to try and time it, go for it. I'm still going to wait for my MACD crossover because I just showed you it's very reliable. And with more experience, you will know when to avoid the fake outs. You can't avoid them all, I'd be lying, but you can avoid most because you just have that much experience. But quantum computing is the future, so I'm bullish on it long term. I told you guys, remember when it was at 20, I told you guys I don't want to buy here. I don't like what I'm seeing. I think we're going to go down, and I saved a lot of people. And now I'm telling you, wait for that crossover, and you'll be buying with strength and volume. And I'm going to buy to hold long term, and some for swinging and some for day trading probably. I'm going to buy a little bit of everything. When you have an account over 100K, you just have a lot of power. You can do so much more than the people with small accounts. People with small accounts, like I would recommend you trade. Like in the Discord, I have people with big accounts and small accounts, so I kind of alert things specific for your account size. So if you have a small account, I would tell you buy the bottom on this stock on AITX, and then when it pumps, flip it for 50 to 80% and rinse and repeat. You can grow pretty quickly like that. With a penny stock that holds this bottom, it's very easy, as I just explained. Rigetti, it's a lot more expensive. I think this is a long-term hold. Seriously, long-term hold, good for swing trading as well. and some day trading if you want some pizza or whatever. Like sometimes I traded this one yesterday and I bought myself vegan pizza. It didn't sit well with me. And then I woke up the next day late, so I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. But I would not blame you for trying to time it here. Buy it here, and if it pumps, you're gonna make a lot more than me, because I'm still gonna wait for my crossover. And I just show you the crossover. If it's successful in that crossover, it's money. It's money. It's money. Because the last time it happened, it ran from a low of 180 to 21. And that's why I tell you guys, be patient. I can do analysis on these stocks real quick. Here's why. Because the first thing I do is look at the MACD. Is it getting ready to cross over? No. Next. Crossover? Oh, it is getting ready to cross over. Let me write that down on my whiteboard, on my whiteboard notebook, which for those of you who didn't watch my video from yesterday, you can just go to Amazon, because I know some people have asked, like, hey, what's that? I didn't know whiteboard notebooks existed. But yeah, they exist, and it's useful for me because I have to take notes on what's going on in the market. But this is the one I bought if anyone's curious. There you go. NU Board A4 size whiteboard notebook, dry erase notebook. That's what I use for writing kanji more than anything. Oh, you just saw my real name. Oh, you might have seen more than that. Oh, you know I have now you know I deal with heartburn, and I like I have cats, obviously, and I like ginger tea, and I'm very cheap, so I buy women's disposable razors because they're cheaper for some reason. I don't know why, but they're cheaper, and I don't care that they're pink. I don't care that it say it's for women. I'm shaving cheap, and I reuse these three for years. So I may have money, but I promise you I'm cheap. I've been pounding the table on that. I am cheap. But there you go, guys. Now you learned more than you needed to. Now you know my real name. No, my real name is not Shades. I wish it was, though. I wish it was. It sounds like a fun name. Very unique. Anyways, that is it for the video. I think you know what to do. You want to time it, buy in after you see this video. If you want to wait for the crossover, wait for the crossover. Like, this is still... there's no news or anything, but we know this is the future. Do I need to say anything else?